بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Quran and Psychology, Episode 10. The Overthinking Soul, When Faith Becomes Complicated. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is the simplest thing Allah asks, because our mind, instead of saying, "Yes, Ya Allah," starts asking, "But what if?" And that's the story behind the verses of Surah Al-Baqarah from 267 to 271, the story of the cow. Allah commanded the people of Musa to simply slaughter a cow. But instead of obeying, they said, "Are you making fun of us?" And Musa replied, "I seek refuge in Allah from being among the ignorant."
وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً قَالُوا أَتَتَّخِذُنَا هُزُوًا قَالَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ.
Every time they were told something clear, they made it complicated. They said, "Ask your Lord what kind of cow." When they got the answer, they said, "Ask your Lord its color." Then again, "Ask your Lord to explain further," until Allah described it so specifically: a cow neither too old nor young, not used for work, spotless in color, perfect in form, that it became almost impossible to find. And finally, the Quran says, "So they slaughtered it, though they almost did not do it." This wasn't a story about a cow. It was a mirror held up to the human mind. When Allah gives simple guidance, pray, forgive, be honest, give charity, we tend to do the same thing. We complicate what was meant to heal us. We say, "Maybe I should understand the deeper meaning first. Maybe I'll start when I'm more ready. Maybe I'll pray when I feel spiritually stronger." And in doing so, we create so many maybes that we almost don't do it at all. Modern psychology calls this cognitive avoidance, when the mind resists uncomfortable action by pretending to seek more clarity. It feels smart, but it's really fear dressed as logic. It's what happens when obedience feels heavy and comfort feels safe. And Allah shows us the more you question out of fear, the harder the simple becomes. Spiritual procrastination doesn't come from ignorance. It comes from attachment and overthinking. Think of how often we delay good habits. We want to start praying, but we wait for the right time. We want to start reading the Quran, but we say, "First, I'll learn the tafsir." We want to forgive, but we wait until the pain disappears. In all of these, the heart says yes, but the mind says not yet. And between yes and not yet, many people never move at all. Overthinking faith drains the soul like overanalyzing love. You stop feeling what you were meant to experience. Allah made this deen easy, but humans make it heavy. The Israelis didn't need more answers. They needed more trust. When Allah gives a command, He already knows what's best for your mind, heart, and future. So don't let overthinking rob you of peace. Sometimes the most intelligent thing to do is simply to say, "Sami'na wa ata'na." We hear and we obey. Because the greatest wisdom is hidden in the simplest submission. When faith becomes complicated. Verse 267, the command and the shock reaction. And when Musa said to his people, "Indeed, Allah commands you to slaughter a cow," they said, "Do you take us in ridicule?" He said, "I seek refuge in Allah from being among the ignorant." Psychological theme: resistance to unexpected commands. This verse shows the ego's first defense mechanism, disbelief. When something feels illogical, humans often respond with sarcasm or deflection. It's like when we're told to do something we don't emotionally agree with. Instead of reflecting, we mock or question the messenger. Spiritually, this is the shock phase of obedience, the moment when faith meets discomfort. Verse 268.
قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي. قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا فارد ولا بكر عوان بين ذلك فافعلوا ما تؤمرون.
Avoidance disguised as curiosity. They said, "Call upon your Lord to make clear to us what it is." Psychological theme, cognitive procrastination. They weren't confused. They were delaying obedience. This mirrors what psychologists call analysis paralysis, when you keep asking for more clarity to avoid taking action. In faith, it's when we say, "I'll start praying when I understand everything," or "I'll forgive once I'm sure they changed." It feels thoughtful, but it's avoidance in disguise. Verse 269.
قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما لونها. قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين.
Making simple faith hard. They said, "Call upon your Lord to show us what its color is." He says, "It is a yellow cow, bright in color, pleasing to the onlookers." Psychological theme, over control and perfectionism. Now the mind starts over-defining what was already clear. Psychologically, this represents people who can't move forward until everything feels perfect. They don't realize that perfectionism kills spiritual flow because it makes every act of faith feel like a test to pass, not a gift to embrace. Verse 270.
قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي إن البقرة شابه علينا وإنا إن شاء الله لمهتدون. 70.
Emotional exhaustion from overthinking. They said, "Call upon your Lord to make clear to us what it is. Indeed, to us, all cows look alike. And indeed, if Allah wills, we will be guided." Psychological theme, decision fatigue and mental exhaustion. After so many questions, they lost sight of the original command. The mind becomes foggy when it resists too long, the way constant hesitation drains emotional energy. Even their phrase, "If Allah wills, we will be guided," shows half-hearted surrender, not conviction, but fatigue. Verse 271.
قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا ذلول تثير الأرض ولا تسقي الحرث مسلمة لا شية فيها. قالوا الآن جئت بالحق فذبحوها وما كادوا يفعلون.
Obedience at last, but without heart. He said, "It is a cow neither trained to plow the earth nor to water the field, sound and without blemish." They said, "Now you have come with the truth." So they slaughtered it, though they almost did not. Psychological theme, delayed obedience and spiritual burnout. By the time they acted, their hearts were no longer inspired. It's like when someone finally prays after years of delay. The body moves, but the soul hesitates. This verse is a warning. Faith delayed is faith diluted. The longer we resist divine simplicity, the harder it becomes to find peace in obedience. Closing reflection. When Allah gives a simple command, He's not testing your intelligence. He's nurturing your trust. The real miracle isn't the cow. It's the transformation of a people learning that overthinking can be a form of disobedience. Because in the end, faith isn't about understanding why, it's about remembering who gave the command.